Is an in-house lab necessary while setting up a packaged drinking water plant? This is the question I'm going to consider today. So why this question? Number one is the cost of lab is heavy. Two, aren't there outside labs really? Three, why can't we outsource that initially? Point number four is later we can set up our own till we break up our cash flow, or permanently keep this model of outsourcing. Why not? I mean, many places this is the model. So let's try to go to the answer of this question. Hello, yes, let us go to the BIS website straight away and check it from there. So I'm just going to the BIS website, bis.gov.in. So this is the website. On the BIS website, you have to avoid these things for this reason, and you have to come to this section like conformity assessment. Note down this tag, conformity assessment. Under conformity assessment, you have to come to product certification here and just go down below and go to online information. Once you click on the online information, all the various sections under the online information you have to click. You have to scroll down. I'm scrolling down, and you have to come to, there are 2-3 things, so we'll just check it. So I'm going to the required section where we can get the information about the lab. So if you click on the product certification process, okay, there are various processes laid down here. Here you can see that under the product certification processes. So of course you can later check what are the guidelines for a grant of license and all that, but for our purpose we want to check here guidelines for factory surveillance. So you have to make it, you have to understand it, and you have to go to factory surveillance. Okay, and since I have done some research on this, I will tell you where to go straight away. You straight away will go to page number 13. I'm just clicking here and I'm going to page number 13, and here about it is mentioned, like verify. We just focus more on this. I will just zoom it. Okay, so we can read this. Yeah, so it is mentioned here. You can see that this section we have to read: verify arrangement indicator and the subcontracting of tests as per the SIT. So that is scheme and testing something set. I will give you the things about it. So the level of control, it is mentioned level of control. We will check the table also, but first understand that it is mentioned here. Okay, specified test equipment as R. So what is R? So R is required and S is subcontracting permitted. That is what we are talking about. Okay, so here you can see for the requirements categorized as R, you can see it here. For the requirements, I am just highlighting this, categorized as R, the license is required to have complete in-house test facilities. So wherever on the equipment it is mentioned that it is mentioned like R, so it is required to be in-house. So whereas it is mentioned for the requirements this categorized as S. Okay, the licensee can have an option to either in-house or test facilities utilize the services of BIS recognized laboratory for testing as per the frequency prescribed in the SIT. Okay, okay, so is approved at the government grant of license and all that it is said. So understand that certain things are, certain tests are required to be in-house and certain tests to be out of the lab also permitted. So certain tests are in-house, and further to that, if you come down below, it has given example. You can see this example of packaged drinking water only they have given. PDW is packaged drinking water. Example, it is mentioned here. You can see that SIT of IS 14543 PDW, it means packaged drinking water, permits subcontracting for tests having frequency, I will reduce the zooming, frequency of monthly. Okay, so whatever the tests which are monthly, so they can be subcontracted, 6 monthly, yearly, okay, yearly, monthly and biennial. So that is 5 years also or 2 years also you have to go for certain tests. So those can be outsourced. The licensee who has opted for subcontracting arrangement for these tests, they are required to produce test reports from recognized laboratory. Even whatever is subcontracted, that also you have an option whether to go for it or do it in-house. Okay, so understand that certain tests are required to be done in-house. I am mentioning it here again. Okay, it is mentioned for the required in-house, the licensee is required to have complete in-house test facilities. So I am highlighting this again. So understand that there is no scope for going out. Now let's understand that which of the tests and where it is mentioned. Now to understand which are the tests which can be which have to be done in-house and which can be outsourced, you have to again go to the online information page once again, and you have to click on product specific information. So if you click on product specific information, you will get this page, of mentioning product specific information. So it is here, and you can check it. Product manuals, that is the first option. You have to check it, the first option. So here on the product specific information, you will get product manuals. So here search for the IS number. You can just put it 14543 as it is the manual for the packaged drinking water. So if you come here, you can actually download a full manual. You see, you can download a full manual. So it's a very informative kind of thing. So this you can later on definitely download, and for our purpose I am just clicking on the document for viewing. So we go for the view, and this is actually a 78 page manual. If you download this, you will get all the process and everything related to the packaged drinking water plant which you want to set up. And here we have to check it, this here on the list of test equipment, you can see that. So since I have already studied this, so let's go to straight away where it is mentioned which equipment. So go to page number 64 in the manual, and here we can understand it very clearly. I will again zoom it up, or I will show you. So here you can mention, these are the major requirement, which are the major criteria for testing and all that. So it is mentioned here, I will show you what it is. So these are the major 5 parameters or 6 parameters which have to be tested. If you go to the initial section, you will come to know these are the 6 sections which need to be continuously monitored. Now here let's see what it mentions, like the clause 1, the requirement description, what it is a parameter for testing, what is the requirement. Color, odor is smell, test of the water, turbidity, okay, and the dissolved state, the TDS of the water, and pH. Out of this you can just check it here. You can come down here and you can very well check it. Now it is saying that for example color and these all parameters, each control unit, okay. So each control unit, what does it mean? Each control unit is actually 1 day, okay. Each control unit sounds for day. So 1 day is one control unit. So these tests need to be done daily for color and all that, okay. This color, odor and all that. And if you come to pH, so pH has to be done for every 4 hours. So if your shift carries of 8 hours, you need to maintain a record for 4 hours each, okay. So if you see it keenly, test equipment requirement R, this is the R or S which I mentioned in the earlier column. So R or S, it is permitted or not. So this is R. So this is all are required within the factory premise, and S is the thing which can be outsourced. Even from table 1 and table 2 also there are some equipments in that table 1 and table 2. So some you can very clearly see once in a month, this can be usually can be outsourced. So S stands for subcontracting, that is outsourcing. You can outsource that. But even in this also there are certain things which have to be done in-house only. So whatever it is, but usually besides a month if you go anything, so usually it is for you can outsource that. So this you can see this is aluminum is 1 week, so even this one nitrate must be nitrate, okay, this is once a week. So this is R. So whatever the document says, usually whatever is within a week's period, so that is always must be, okay, in once in 6 months or something like that, it is to be in-house only. So you can go into details and check it, but my point was that there are certain tests which need to be done in-house, so you really cannot outsource that. So lab is a must setup for a packaged drinking water plant. So forget about whether it is necessary or not, made compulsory by the BIS. So understand why it has been made compulsory, because it needs to be monitored continuously, and you need to monitor the quality. You need to sync your marketing efforts with that, getting a feedback from the marketing intelligence and doing the necessary changes. This is actually marketing monitoring of that. And having an execution culture. If you have an execution culture in place in your factory setup or on all the business setup, then you progress. So for that purpose, we also help you by mentoring. Actually, we have a mentoring plan. So mentoring covers all the business aspects. So typically a business should not need mentoring once it starts fully operational after 2 years. So right from the idea inception to the continuous monitoring of your plant till the plant runs for 2 years. So this is the recommendation of mentoring. So if you are interested in mentoring, do visit our website and fill up the contact form and drop us a request. Thank you so much.